Hello, everyone. I've got two stories to share with you today. They are about two different cases regarding Vibrio genus, the flesh-eating bacteria lurking in the depths of the Chesapeake Bay. With that being said, let's get right into it. Rodney Donald of Essex, Maryland, was enjoying a summer getaway with family when the seemingly impossible happened. He had a small, unnoticed scrape on his leg, an entry point for a rare but deadly assailant, Vibrio vulnificus. This naturally occurring bacterium, often referred to as flesh-eating, thrives in warm coastal waters. 5 days into his vacation, Donald was jolted awake by an agonizing pain. His leg felt as though it were on fire, a sensation accompanied by intense chills and shaking. The symptoms escalated with frightening speed, characteristic of a severe Vibrio infection that can spread rapidly through the soft tissue. The symptoms escalated with frightening speed, characteristic of a severe Vibrio infection that can spread rapidly through the soft tissue. When rushed to the emergency room, Donald was in critical condition. Doctors immediately began an aggressive treatment plan, battling a fast-moving infection that threatened his life and his limb. The bacteria were necrotizing, causing the soft tissue around the wound to die. Over the course of his 13-day hospital stay, Donald underwent a grueling series of 6 surgeries to excise the infected and dead tissue. The procedure, often necessary to halt the infection's progress, saved his leg but left him needing a skin graft and facing a long, challenging recovery.
New on the Edge at 11, a survivor story. A man explains how he fought for his life after contracting a rare flesh-eating bacteria. Doctors say he contracted from the Chesapeake Bay. Thanks for staying with us on The Edge tonight. I'm Sean Yancey.
And I'm Will Thomas. That rare bacteria usually only grows in waters in certain climates, but it is becoming more common, including right here in the Mid-Atlantic region. Alexandra Lamone is on The Edge tonight with a closer look at what we should all know about this one. Alexandra.
Well, Will, that rare bacteria usually only grows in certain climates, but it's becoming more common, like you said, because of global warming. That infection is called Vibrio vulnificus, and it's essentially a fast-growing bacteria that kills flesh. And again, it thrives in warm, salty water.
We were just canoeing, kayaking, fishing, crabbing, things you do when you're on vacation.
Rodney Donald couldn't have imagined that vacation to the Chesapeake Bay would nearly cost him his leg and his life. That morning, Rodney also fell and scraped his leg. Turns out that tiny scrape made him more susceptible to Vibrio vulnificus, an aggressive bacterial infection.
It likes salty water, not so much ocean water as more brackish water, but you can find it in the ocean as well. It's well known to occur in the Chesapeake Bay.
That night, Rodney woke up in extreme pain.
My leg was burning, and then it felt like I had to vomit, but I never did. It was like the dry heaves, and then I got chills real bad. I couldn't stop shaking.
He was rushed to a local hospital in Calvert.
My wife pulled the sheet up again, and it had spread, and it had grown. It wasn't flat anymore. It had risen to be about a 1/4 inch, and it was starting to go around my leg.
Then he was airlifted to D.C., where specialists could treat the aggressive infection.
Once I got to Washington Hospital Center, they took me into emergency surgery right away, and they started cutting where the bacteria had actually started eating the flesh.
Dr. Gary Simon with the George Washington Medical Faculty Associates says it's lucky Rodney got treatment right away.
Occasionally it's missed for a while, or it's let go, or people don't come in, and one can lose a limb from it because it's a necrotizing infection, which means it kills tissue.
Now that man has been through a lot. Rodney was in the hospital for 13 days and had 3 surgeries just to cut out the infected portions. Then he had to have skin grafts. It could be months before he fully recovers, but says he is just thankful to be alive. Well,
Certainly Rodney's case bringing a lot of light onto something we should all know about. Alexandra, thank you.
Donald's story is a stark reminder of a growing public health concern. While cases of Vibrio infection are relatively rare, the mortality rate for septic cases can be high, with Vibrio Vulnificus responsible for a significant percentage of all seafood-related deaths in the U.S. The bacteria flourish in warmer temperatures and lower salinity environments, making the Chesapeake Bay a susceptible habitat, especially during the summer months. As climate change leads to warmer coastal waters, the risk of encountering this pathogen is expanding both geographically and seasonally. Infections typically occur when an open wound is exposed to water or when eating raw or undercooked shellfish. The symptoms, including pain, swelling, and redness, can progress to blistering skin lesions and, in severe cases, sepsis.
There could be a danger lurking in the bay when you jump in for a swim, but it's not something you can see. It's a bacteria called Vibrio, and it is showing up in the waters of the Chesapeake. The health department is now reporting 5 cases of the bacteria linked to the bay so far this summer. And we're putting this health risk in focus tonight with Dr. Charles Hale, who is the chief of the Division of Infectious Disease at GBMC. You've seen a lot in your lifetime. They call this the flesh-eating bacteria?
It's one of them, yes, right.
How bad is this thing?
It can be associated with loss of limb or loss of life. It can be very bad.
And you said it's been around for a while?
It's been around quite a while. It's found in the bay. It's found in the Gulf as well. It's a saltwater bacteria.
Well, how's it contracted then?
Well, it doesn't affect everyone. If you're bathing and you have a wound, it can get secondarily infected. If you're in the bay and there's just been a heavy rain, that's not a good time to get in there because residue comes down, pollutes the water, and allows this thing to grow. You should take a shower after you're swimming or boating.
Right away or?
Shortly thereafter.
Is it bad this year, really?
It's hard to say. Last year there was the highest in the state in 10 years, 57 cases. Also, occasionally this can be acquired by ingestion, usually by raw oysters. That's a no-no this time of year.
Oh, no. You're kidding me. Raw oysters, you can get it?
Absolutely, you can.
How can it be treated, doctor?
Well, individuals who have liver disease or who are heavy users of alcohol are at most risk or immunocompromised. So it can be treated with antibiotics, but it can be a flesh-eating bacteria. So antibiotics only do so much, and surgical debridement or cutting of tissue is often necessary.
Let's get back to the oysters. What should we be wary about eating oysters?
Well, you can eat oysters if they're cooked.
But you wouldn't eat them raw?
I've never have and never will.
Well, you're scaring me now. Is this deadly?
It can be deadly, yes. People die of this.
Well, what's the typical outcome if diagnosed? All right,
typical outcome in my hands or in most people's hands is survival, a good experience with probably minimal debridement or loss of tissue. It can go the whole gamut for limb amputation or death.
Okay. You've never had a raw oyster in your life?
Never have.
Oh, man. All right. Yeah, look at you. Okay. He knows. Now he's going to scare. I'm never going to eat an oyster again. Thank you, doctor, for coming in. He's the best at GBMC. You can find more information on Vibrio, including what the health department is doing about it on our website right now. Find the story at abc2news.com right under the health section. You know what?
In July of 2019, the picturesque shoreline became the backdrop for a terrifying reality check. The story of one young boy would soon make national headlines, not for a close call, but for the stark reality of this aggressive infection. This time, the victim was a young boy on vacation with his mother, Brittany Carey. A simple swim in the Chesapeake Bay near Ocean City had turned catastrophic. The next morning, he woke up with inflamed red wounds spreading across his body. A frantic trip to the emergency room confirmed their worst fears, the diagnosis of Vibrio infection. The bacteria had managed to infiltrate a small break in the boy's skin, rapidly multiplying and initiating a severe necrotizing fasciitis infection. This rare condition works at an alarming speed, destroying soft tissue and requiring immediate, aggressive medical intervention. It is a race against time. Brittany, a mother driven by fear and a desire to protect others, took to social media. Her Facebook post, featuring stark images of her son's injuries and a desperate plea for awareness, went viral. It served as a visceral warning: the ocean is beautiful, but not without its risks. The boy eventually began his recovery. Fortunately, his case was caught relatively quickly. Regardless, his story and others like it that summer forced public health officials to issue urgent warnings. The message was clear: warm coastal waters, especially in the summer heat, are prime breeding grounds for Vibrio.
Well, as people get ready to head to the beach for the holiday weekend, there's one mom who says her son is battling a flesh-eating bacteria after a swim in the bay near Ocean City. WJZ is live tonight. Kimberly Eaton with the latest on a series of dangerous cases now all along the eastern seaboard. Kimberly.
And Nicole, that mom took to Facebook to warn other parents. Her son, she says, diagnosed with the rare infection that has already proven dangerous and in one case deadly this summer.
Angry red patches of skin captured in pictures and posted to Facebook. A Maryland mom warning other parents that a typical Sunday swim turned into anything but. Brittany Carey writes 24 hours after her son splashed in the water near the Route 50 bridge leading into downtown Ocean City, open wounds began growing all over his body. Soon diagnosed by doctors as Vibrio. The bacteria can slip below the skin and cause necrotizing fasciitis, a dangerous and sometimes deadly infection that's been linked to Maryland waterways before.
This thing, it does not go to sleep at night.
Last year, Al Geisler telling WJZ he's still in pain after surviving a case brought on by a fish he caught off Sandy Point State Park in July of 2017. Pierced by its fin, he was unaware that bacteria lingered.
It's like somebody flipped a light switch. I got deathly sick that quick.
Shock trauma doctors saved his life by cutting and then grafting skin. According to the CDC, approximately 700 to 1,200 cases occur in the U.S. every year. Even with treatment, up to 1 in 3 people diagnosed do not survive. Already this summer, it's killed a 77-year-old woman in Florida and infected a 12-year-old girl who reportedly contracted a case through a scrape on her toe after visiting a Florida beach.
And Vibrio is naturally found in brackish water like the Chesapeake. The Maryland Department of Health does have some information on its website on how you can protect yourself. Reporting live tonight, I'm Kimberly Eaton for WJZ.
For most people, Vibrio poses no threat, but for those with open cuts or compromised immune systems, a single bacterium can mean the difference between a minor illness and a life-threatening emergency. The summer of 2019 was a brutal reminder that paradise can quickly become perilous. The ocean is a source of joy and life. It's also a complex ecosystem that demands our respect. Stories like Rodney Donald's and the Maryland Mother remind us that vigilance is our best defense against the hidden dangers that lurk just beneath the waves. Prior to watching this video, had you ever heard of Vibrio? If so, how aware were you of the risks associated with Vibrio bacteria in warm waters? Additionally, will this story change the way your family approaches ocean safety this summer? Let me know in the comments below. Lastly, stay safe, stay aware, and never underestimate the power of nature. Thank you all for watching, and as usual, if you're a fan of urban legends, folklore, unsolved mysteries, cold cases, and all things mysterious, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel.